Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the CSB Baker Illustrated Study Bible. So this here is going to be just the dust jacket. So let's go ahead and look at the back of this. So this is going to give us a lot of the features on here. So we'll go over just some of these because we're going to see a lot of these on the inside of this. So we're going to see hundreds of full color images, more than 100 full color maps. We've got artist reconstructions, extensive timelines, key family trees. We've got figures and charts, connections that draw your attention to significant themes of God's Word, more than 150 articles, and more than 450 clear and accurate definitions of key words. So tons of stuff in this, and there's even more features that they mention down here, which are going to include cross-references, a concordance, single column biblical text, it's red letter, we've got footnotes, outlines, comprehensive section introductions, and detailed book introductions. So this Bible is just jam-packed with just awesome stuff. Here's an example of what we're going to see on the inside, and you can see all the color that's in there and the charts and the different drawings and maps, and that really just draws you into the text, and so it's really an engaging Bible. So they did an awesome job with this one. This one is done by Baker Books. Here's our ISBN number. This one does retail for $49.99. And you can definitely find it for less online. So definitely check out christianbook.com as well as Amazon. And also check out Baker's website as well. And I will have some links in the description box as well. So I've got the hardcover edition here. And this one here measures out at 9.5 inches tall by 6 3/4 inches wide, and this thing is beefy. This is 2.5 inches thick. So one thing that we can see there, besides the pretty blue head and tail bands, is you can see the signatures folded over, especially right there in that corner. So nice sewn binding, and even though this thing is just massive, it lays perfectly flat. So on our spine we have the CSB True North logo, Baker Illustrated Study Bible, and then the Baker Books logo. So really a good looking Bible. They also do have these in some other editions, and I'll put links for those in the description box as well. So even though this is a really big Bible, one thing that is really impressive right off the bat is that lays perfectly flat, and we're not even into the Bible yet. So that is impressive for a Bible this big. So we're going to see, we've got our title pages. We've got some information on Baker Books there. This one here is going to tell us that it was printed in China in 2018. And then the copyright on the CSB is 2017. And then we're going to get into our contents pages. So we won't go too detailed on this. I'll just highlight some of the features on here as far as, like, we can see here what happened between the two testaments. So we're going to get good information after we leave the Old Testament and before we get into the New. And so we can see that we've got the Gospels and Acts, an introduction, an overview of the life of Christ, harmony of the Gospels. So we've got all of that information before we get into the New Testament. So I like that they put that first. And then here is some other information that we're going to have in here. We've got a list of all of our resources. So this is going to be all of the articles. So one nice thing, it's going to tell us the book that it's in, what the article is, and then also the page number. So that is really nice. So if you were studying a particular book, say for example, you come down here and you're like, oh, okay, here's the book that I'm studying, here's an article on it, I'm going to go right to that. So it's nice that they have those broke down for us. And then this is going to be the definitions. So these are going to be the keyword definitions. Tells us the word, and it also tells us the page number. And we're going to see all of this as we get into this Bible. We've got a list of all of our maps. It also tells us the same thing, the book that it's in and the page number. So it's nice to have that right here in the front. Then we're going to get into the features of this study Bible, which we see in a lot of this on the back. So a lot of this, it's actually easier to see it inside the Bible, because that's why you're watching this video. You want to see inside of this. So we've got the introduction to this study Bible. So if you pick one up, I would definitely read these pages. I always do when I get a new one, especially something like this, because I like to see how they've laid it out. We've got an introduction to the CSB, so if you've never read that translation, you'll definitely want to check that out. We've got all of our abbreviations, and then we're going to get into one of our first timelines. So this is an Old Testament timeline. And one thing that's really neat is it's going to give us the key people. So we can see over here we've got Abraham and Isaac. We've got the key events. So we've got covenant with Abraham. And then we've got the key people and events from ancient Near Eastern world. So this is also going to give us, like we've got the timeline here on the pyramid building. So a lot of this is just really neat because it's information that you don't always see in Bibles. So same on this page here, and if you look at some of these different events, it's just really fascinating that it actually has all of this included in it. So you can look at the different events in the Bible and then see the other things that were going on in the world, which that to me is really fascinating. Then we're going to get into our New Testament timeline, and then one other thing here that we can see there, we've got a nice example of our stitching. So nice sewn binding. Again, we're not even into Genesis and laying completely flat. So these timelines are awesome. Then we've got a grand story of the Bible, which this is really interesting. We've got how to read, interpret, and apply the Bible. And then now we're going to get into the biblical text itself. So good little chunk before we even get into it. Then we're going to get into our Old Testament introduction. And we can see we've got an artist rendition down here. Then we're going to get in the introduction to the Pentateuch. And then the introduction to Genesis. So it's going to give us an overview, the authorship, the structure and content. Then we've got who wrote the Pentateuch. And then we're going to have some additional information. And then we're going to get into the outline. So that's a pretty extensive outline there. You can see that that's quite a bit. And then we're going to get into the biblical text. So on our text, it is a single column format with a 9-point font. And the first thing that I noticed when I opened up this Bible and looked at it was how nice this paper in this Bible is and how readable it is. So you can see just how clear that is. Plus, we do have nice wide margins, so plenty of space for taking notes. We've got all of our cross references, all of our study notes along the bottom. This here, this heaven, is one of our keyword definitions, so we've got that there. And then this one here is going to be one of our connections. But the way that this paper is on this one, and this is the only Bible that I've heard of using this paper, it's a 39 GSM Apple thin coat paper. So I don't know if any of you have heard of that before, but look how clear that font is. And even though I'm used to reading larger font Bibles because of my eye problems, this I can actually read without glasses, which is unreal. So just exceptional paper. The paper and print quality in this thing just blew me away. I would buy this Bible just based off of the paper quality that's in it. It is that great. I do like that they've got the study notes separated with just a thin line there, which is kind of nice. And then they also have the line separating the cross references. But the notes, and they're a little bit smaller. I'm not sure what the font on the notes are. But just the way it's done, it's just really, really clear. And so for the most part, it is going to be line matched. And so some of the pages that have a special design element, it will cause the text to misalign a little bit because it's designed to be top aligned and use consistent leading. So that is consistent vertical spacing. So it allows the lines to be in the same position on each page. So even though there's tons of stuff, like we've got charts and pictures and diagrams, the text is really, really readable. So this one here is kind of a neat page. So we've got the beginning and the end. So it's going to give us some different verses in the beginning and throughout Genesis, and then the end in Revelation. So I will just pan down this page so you can look at that. But yeah, the print quality in this and the paper quality is absolutely phenomenal. I was so impressed when I opened this one up, and so that was one of the things that I had to find out was what type of paper they used in this. So here's another one of our book introductions. We've got an artist rendition of the model of the Ark of the Covenant. We've got an in-text map, which we're going to have over 100 of in-text maps. Another artist rendition, but you can see on these side columns here, there is a lot of space for notes there in the margins. So here's the holy days and celebrations. We've got a reconstruction of the horned altar. But there's so much information in this Bible. So we've got more of the word definitions, another map. We've got a full page on the different Old Testament weapons. I mean, I could easily do a 30-minute video on this and how awesome this Bible is and show you all the details. But I don't know that anyone would want to watch a video that long. But just look at how good that text is right there. I mean, you can easily pause that and read it. It's super, super clear. And the artist renditions, like this here is Solomon's Temple. But great color, great detail. Just an absolutely beautiful Bible. So I'm sure the other cover options that they have, which is like an imitation type leather, I can imagine how nice those are. So we've got a little map here of Jerusalem. We've got a handwritten Torah scroll. But just tons of stuff. So we've got a necklace from Syria from the 4th or 5th century. But there's so much stuff in this Bible that it is just jam-packed. And the way that they've laid it out and just the quality that they did this, I am super impressed with this Bible. So even though there's things here, you really don't get a lot of distractions. I mean, you can see just a little bit. But it doesn't take away from the clarity of the text, which that I'm just blown away by that. I love the paper in this Bible. I hope that other publishers start using this paper because it's phenomenal. I have not taken any notes in it yet, but I plan to. So I'll definitely use a 005 micron on this and see how it does. So this is going to be, so we are done with the Old Testament and we're going to be getting into the New, but this is the information that's between the Testaments. So we've got the what happened between the two Testaments. We've got some information there. And then we're going to get over to the New Testament. And we're going to have some more information before we even get to the actual New Testament. So we're going to have a nice introduction. We're going to have an introduction to the Gospels and Acts. We've got a nice overview on the life of Christ, which that is really neat. Then we're going to get into the harmony of the Gospels. So I always like it when Bibles have these. I really enjoy those. So that spans a few pages. Then we're going to get into our book introduction for Matthew. So again, it gives us an overview, the authorship and date. We've got sources, theological themes. We've got the Christology. I mean, you can see how much information is in here. We've got a structure and an outline. We've got a diagram on the Herodian dynasty. So we've got the information there with Herod the Great. Got all his wife and children tracked out there. And then we're going to get right into Matthew. So another thing that I really like is the way that they used this shade of blue with the numbers. So we've got all of our subject headings and all of our chapter numbers in that color. But just awesome, awesome stuff in this Bible. There's Jesus in Jerusalem, so get you a little shot of that. So it's kind of nice because then you can look and see kind of where all these different events took place. So I like that they add that in there. We do also have red letter text. So let me get you a good shot of the red letter. And it is a nice darker shade of red, so not super bright, but really easy to read. So I do like the red that they chose with this one. But just super, super clear on the biblical text. It's just phenomenal. I just absolutely am blown away by the paper quality in this one. So you can see how many pages have things on them. Just tons of information in this one. Like I said, I could easily do a 30-minute video, but I don't know if you all would want to spend 30 minutes watching one or not. But it would be very easy to do in a Bible that has this much information in it. So a lot of these that are just actual photographs of places, to me that's just fascinating. So you're getting like archaeology stuff within this one as well. But the articles that I have read in this have been great. We're going to get back into the back. We've got our table of our weights and measures. We've got our concordance, which is going to be a 3-column format. And so on these, they've kind of got kind of like a brownish color on those. It almost looks red, but then in some lights it almost looks like a brown color. So I think it might actually be kind of like a deep red shade. But decent sized concordance. Easy to read the way that they've got that laid out. And then we're going to get back into our maps. So we've got 17 maps. They are done on Bible paper, so a lot of you that prefer Bible paper maps, you're going to love these maps. And again, there is 17 of them. And they're nice, clear maps as well. So get you a little bit closer so you can see those. And I like that they've got a border around them, because that prevents anything from falling down into the gutter. So I do like that. So like this one here, how they've got that separated. So we're not going to have any issue with anything falling down into the gutter. So I really love it when publishers do that. Then we get right to the back of the Bible, and so we can see that even right there in the back lays perfectly flat. But just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful Bible. So there's another shot of the red letter, which is just really, really nicely done. So it's not super bright, it's a nice shade, which I do like that. But just an excellent Bible. So if you're looking for a study Bible, I would definitely recommend this CSB. It's a great translation. The paper, I cannot stress how amazing the paper is in this Bible. So definitely check one out just so you can see the amazing paper that I've been telling you about. So again, this one is the CSB. This one is the Baker Illustrated Study Bible. I'm going to get you another shot of the ISBN, which is going to be right there. And I will put some links in the description box so you can check it out. Pick yourself up one. This would be an excellent, excellent Bible to pick up for Christmas for somebody. Just an amazing Bible. And I would like to thank the folks over at Baker Books for providing this copy for review. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.